Hey guys, it's me, and I've had a haircut and I did dye it, but the blonde is coming back again. But I might re-dye it anyway. I might go blonde at the top and like keep the bottom bits like blacky brown, but we shall see. I've just finished a film called Ride or Die, and I've made like a list of thrillers and horrors and stuff that I want to watch, so I'll probably make a post on that on my Instagram, so go and check that out as well. So the plot is, there's a redhead girl called Ray, but I think the name's spelled R-E-I, like Ray, instead of R-A-Y. And then there's another girl, oh I forgot her name, Sumaya or something, and she's like getting abused by her husband. So then Ray, she's like, oh, I've loved you since we were like in high school, I'm a straight up killing for you so you can have sex with me. And I was like, I mean, if you want to go down that route, be my guest, but there's different ways to get booty, honey. You don't have to go kill a husband. So then they're evading the cops. Ray's brother and sister-in-law find out, and yeah, the ending's pretty Romeo and Juliet-esque. Like, no one dies. Like, she hands herself in, and then the girl's like, oh, I'll wait for you till you get out of prison. And then she's like, like, it's gonna be so quick. And I'm like, you've just murdered someone who was high capital. They're not gonna let you out of prison straight away, so you might be a granny by the time she comes out. But whatever you want to do. I think I'm gonna give it 3, because some things in the film just didn't add up. It really didn't. Like, there's this part where they're like sleeping at some railway line, because obviously they're homeless, they've got nowhere to go and they're on the run. So the one who's abused, Sumaya, I think her name was, she was like, oh, I'm gonna have a nap, you do what you want. And like, she's about to choke her, the Ray girl, and I'm like, okay, is that a fetish? I don't know. And then the guy that helped them previously, who's an abusive man, he was like, oh, let me come have a drink. And I was like, okay, he helped them out. He's a bit weird, but he helped them out. And then suddenly tries to get it on with like, oh, he moves her hand to his pants and was like, you like that, don't you? I'm like, okay. And then suddenly she goes running off in the rain. He hugs her, and then they just start making out and having booty time in the car. And I was like, but then it's never added up. It never implies if she wanted it, if she was just doing it to pay him back. Like, I didn't get that bit. And the choking thing as well. Some bits didn't add up. Like, she's not spoke to her in 10 years, and all of a sudden, I'm gonna drop my life, go to this girl. Like, she has a girlfriend. She's 29, Ray, and she's dating this girl who's like 34. And I'm like, that's fine. You two date. You have a perfect life. Like, she's a good job. Her family's great. And she's got her own house. And then suddenly this girl of 10 years, oh, my husband beats me. You know, let's come to my place and I'll just show you my body. Like, there's a lot of body shots. Like, they have full on sex in like this like shed near the end of the film. You don't see any action till the end of the film, so I was just sat there throughout most of the film like, oh, they're not gonna kiss. Like, it's an Asian film, they won't kiss. And then suddenly full on nudity, and I was like, the abuse scenes, I feel like if they wanted to amplify how abusive he was, they could have gone full out. They went full out lesbian. If they wanted to highlight an abusive relationship, all it shows was like flashbacks of him whacking her against the wall. Like, how she got the bruises on her body, how she got, like, her boobs, like, wait a minute, this is gonna sound really wrong, but her boobs, like, the one who is abused, her nipples in it didn't look healthy. When like she goes to the girl's house afterwards, it's like a flashback, like you just see her bruises all over her body, like neck all the way down, face, and then it cuts to like her chest area, like they wanted to highlight it, and I was like, okay, maybe it's like an important scene. Then it cuts to like her boobs, and like her nipples are like bruised and like swollen up, like they look bad, like they need help. Of course I'm good. Girl, the main lead, Ray, I don't know the actual actress's name. Her hair colour and some of the shots in the film reminded me a bit of Lady Bird. Like, when I watched Your Heart Engraved Herein, which I have done a review on, go and watch it, I gave that 5 stars because they made it clear the message. This one was a bit like, is the girl in denial? Is she just using her? Does she actually like her? At the end it proves that she actually likes her, but she could have given signs throughout the other parts of the film. Asian representation of LGBT is slim because most of Asia is still a bit of a culture where they don't like anything to do with the LGBT community. I might be wrong, they might have changed, but from what I watch and hear, they're still a bit closed about it. And even though this has nothing to do with the film, like I watch a lot of Korean stuff, I'm into a lot of K-pop, C-pop, Chinese pop, and still like everyone's setting standards. But I watched a list of gender changing artists, and one of my favourite artists is on there called Taemin, Lee Taemin from SHINee and Super M. And I love how it's progressing now, like gender roles are being broken down. Like, it's cool to see that, because obviously as a non-binary person, I think it's great that they're trying to break down the walls of gender as well as sexuality and being fluid with oneself. That was completely off topic, but if you want to watch, it's not really action though. Like, it was labelled as an action, but I don't remember seeing any action apart from the blood of the husband getting his throat slit. It's quite dark in its themes. It mentions suicide a lot. Like, they're both like the one who was abused, she's like, oh, I've been thinking about jumping off this cliff. Like, well, we just both died together. I was really looking forward to watching this because obviously major LGBTQ advocate, but they could have covered it so much different compared to how they've done it. If you want to give it a watch, I'll link the trailer in, give it a whirl. But it's on Netflix as well, so it should be on there. It does have an English dub. Again, I don't like watching any live foreign film with an English dub because the English dub is just rubbish. I would prefer to watch it, so I watched it in its original language, Japanese. I will see you guys soon, and yeah, thanks for being part of the review.